Bam, bam, bam. We are live. It's Giants game day. How's everybody doing today? It's myself, Danny Boy King, here for this is like you can argue the Colts, especially now, but this is essentially like the worst team the Giants are going to play this year. We're coming off a bye week 6-2, even though I don't think the bye week helps teams. I think I think it kind of makes you a little rusty. Like you get you players out of their flow. Like last year out of the bye. What game was out of the bye week? Probably the worst game for a lot of players.
Oh God, come out of the bye week last year.
Yep.
Oh yeah, I forgot a lot of last
year. Bucks, which was probably the Giants like the worst.
That was the game you went to, right?
Yeah.
They fired Garrett after that, right?
Yep. You could argue the Rams game was worse, but I think the Rams were like I thought the Bucks game was like they played worse in that game. At least the Rams game just got out of hand. All right, so we're going to answer your questions, talk some New York Giants, see a lot of people in the chat. No, actually not a lot of people. It's actually not a huge turnout today. Everyone's trying to kind of get back into, like the bye week got people out of whack.
Yeah, I think people are still trying to get back in, and it's also the Texans. Maybe they're just not as invested in a game against a bad team. That's where I'm nervous because I'm like, yes, the Texans are good, but the Giants are coming off a bye, and anything can happen.
Yeah, and so, like this, like people say trap game. I think every game in the NFL is like you just play. But like after that Seahawks loss, definitely sucks to lose. But like there's very like real reasons. Like okay, well this is why I'm not going to be totally pissed off. Like especially with where the Giants are, their first year with a new GM, new head coach, talent, blah blah blah. This is a game where if they lose, like it's going to be because people totally fell short of what their expectations were. From Daniel Jones to the Saquon, the receiver, even the defense, like the expectation is to win this game. So if the Giants lose this game, it's because players didn't do their job up to expectation. So that's it. So we'll get your questions and all that stuff. The first one, we talked about it. You picked as your Giant factor. I wanted to pick it as my Giant factor. How do you think Kenny Golladay will do today by Zachary Korzenko? Dude, I guess I do have a clue because me saying I don't have a clue is me hoping that there's some good form of Kenny Golladay out there. But he just didn't look good in the first couple games. But I think this is the first time of the year that I actually think like he's going to be part of the game plan. Where week one, which was the most snaps he played this year, he was never really part of the progressions in the passing game. Like he was out there, but like a lot of times he was just like the clear out route. They weren't really using him a ton. And then the second game, he only played 2 snaps. And then, the third and fourth games, he didn't really play. He played a little bit and then had a couple of drops in that Cowboys game. So they've never really like kind of used him to his strengths this year, but now I think they're in a situation where they are going to like, all right, we got to try and get Kenny Golladay the ball today, let him do what he does best. But he did look bad out there that first month of the season.
Yeah, and that's why I chose him to be the Giant factor, just because like coming off an injury, the wide receiver room is a lot different than it was when he went down. Obviously, Tony's gone as well now, and the other guys have not been living up to expectations in Marcus Johnson, Richard James, even though you couldn't expect them to. So there's no way he should not be a part of the game plan today. And if he's not today, then it's like, all right, cool. Can we just get rid of him at some point? Because then I feel like we're just wasting time at this point. But I'm very excited to see what Kenny Galladay's role is going to be today. Because he, like I said, I feel like he has like a newfound energy on this team right now because like one, they're good. He seems like he misses it. And he makes it sound like he's more of a team guy now. He's like, I'll do what I got to do to get the team to win. That's just probably to get on the coach's good side. Be like, hey, can you throw the ball more? But I'm very intrigued to see how they use our highest paid wide receiver today.
Yeah, so I am excited for him because like, all right, we'll get to take Marcus Johnson off the field. So we'll see what. And I think for the first time they realize like we got to actually play this guy. They have hopes of making the playoffs. It's not all about just building culture like maybe they thought at the beginning of the year. It's like no, we are trying to squeeze out every win we can this year with this roster. Glock Roach says Roberto is a close score at halftime disappointing. No, but here's where I thought about it because we were kind of talking about on the preview pod. Me and Justin were like, well, what it's a blowout in the third quarter. For me to feel like really a win's a win. So actually, like if they if they are losing by 4 points with 3 seconds left and the Texans fumble the snap on the kneel and we catch a touchdown, I'm going to be excited. So I'm not going to say I won't be disappointed. But like my expectation is kind of like the Panthers game last year, where you're not just going to boat race them from the start, where you just, come out, they're up 21-0, game over. Like that game was close at the half.
Yeah.
But I think by the time the fourth quarter rolled around, it should be like, we should have our feet kicked up being like, Giants got to win. We're 7-2.
Yeah. No, I agree with that. Like you said, I can't be disappointed if the end result is a win. Obviously, the Giants, like they're not like world beaters, but they are better than this Texans team, and they should be beating them. But the one thing that I still just don't, they're coming off the bye, and anything can happen. And this is the one time the Giants can get called lacking.
Joe Moyo asked a really good question. Where's the Talking Giants Good Morning Instagram post? I couldn't do one this week. You look up Texan shot on YouTube, and it's all just like horrible news stories. And I do have a line where I'm not gonna mock a human being's death.
Yeah,
like we'll use hunting videos and stuff, but we are I can't mock a human being's death because like that person has a family. I just couldn't do it. I thought about doing a cowboy, but it's like we already play the Cowboys. So and there's actually not. You would think that there's a lot of great clips of cowboys being shot. There really isn't. Those Western movies, they didn't have great graphics, so like they didn't really show the bullet going through the head or nothing.
That's funny.
So there was none this morning. I feel bad about that because it's come to be expectation, and I guess I'm pussing out a little bit, but it's just I couldn't put a Texas a actual human being who was killed like as a joke.
Oh yeah, I mean I imagine that would
at least
not
like innocent people. Like maybe if there was like some evil Texas man who like was killed, yeah, but can't do it.
I just imagine that wouldn't have gone over well with the bosses either.
Say again. I don't even care about. No, it's not. I don't even care about that. It's just
morally as well.
Yeah, I just don't want to make fun of a human being who died. Like that's like I do have a line as much as people like. So yeah, I used to put stickers on everything. One of my old customers, their neighbor's house burnt down. And I was like, should I go in the house of this burnt down house and put a sticker and take a picture and put it on Twitter? And I was like, you know what? Probably shouldn't do that. Like that's people's lives were ruined because of this. No one died in the fire, but still. You can always do a bull being shot since that's their mascot. Yeah. Well, we just missed out on a week. It's okay. We'll be back next week. Next week we play the Lions. I have some good ones for that.
I'm going
to piss people off, but we have good ones for that.
I'm going to be at that game. I'm excited.
Dude, amazing guy. Great question. What is Adoree returning punts?
I thought it was another troll account, but then I realized Twitter Blue is no longer a thing right now. So I was like, oh, this is real.
So this is where we talk about things, and it's like even when we disagree, it's like we disagree from a level of understanding. It's like we're not in the building on certain things. This is one of those things where it's like I don't care if I'm not in the building. I don't care what I don't know about football. I do not want Adoree Jackson returning punts. This is a guy who misses games every single year. By the way, he also had return issues with the Titans. Fumbling the ball. I think he had 5 fumbles in 3 years with the Titans. 3 years of returning punts for the Titans. He is so important to this defense. Like he's just cornerback 1, which is going to be a very important position for any defense in the NFL. But he is by far our best corner. He shuts down wide receiver 1s for the most part. He's not perfect, but for the most part, he shuts down wide receiver 1s. And he misses games every year. Like he has injury issues. It's a big reason why the Titans didn't pick up his 5th-year option was because injury issues. So, yeah, I am very against Adoree Jackson, especially with Xavier McKinney out, because it's like that guy, having Xavier McKinney out, it's like we don't know how well our center field safety is going to be able to help that cornerback too. So I do not want Adoree Jackson playing.
Yeah, I think it's just a dumb idea. Like you're telling me these other guys can't return the punts. Adoree Jackson is your next best option. I just find that really hard to believe. Like you said, Adoree Jackson is an injury-prone guy, and the last thing this team needs is for Adoree Jackson to go down, as we also lost Xavier McKinney, because that just devastates the defense. I just don't get it. Like I understand, like they're just trying anything, but if I'm keeping it frank with you, if it's between Adoree Jackson and Richie James, I'd rather Richie James back there again because I don't want Adoree Jackson getting injured on punt returns because that's just a stupid way.
Yeah, I just want someone who can go out there and like catch it and run 5 yards forward. Like again, how often is again unless you have like one of the best of the best. I just don't see the risk. And I'm not like this anti like when Pep played special teams, I didn't really mind that.
Yeah, that was different. It felt like
it's just but Adoree with the way this current team is set up, I do not agree with this at all.
And the other thing was, you know what, they could have trotted Richie James out there after McGahee. He said like it was because Richie James was wearing sleeves that were like silk, and that's why he fumbled. I would have been like, okay, cool, but I just rather that.
Yeah, it's just coaches trying to help.
I know, and I believed it as long as Adoree Jackson was return to punts.
Other than Tunsil's, the Texans O-line good in pass pro. No, Anthony, they are not. They kind of remind me of the Giants offensive line in a sense. Now, Kenyon Green's pretty damn good in the run game. He's having some rookie struggles as in pass pro. But no, like our interior offense, our Dex and Leo should really dominate in this game versus the inside. I'll be interested to see how much they put Kayvon on Laremy Tunsil because Laremy Tunsil is like awesome. Let's see.
That's gonna be a fun battle. You're right.
Let's see. I really am hoping Laremy Tunsil gives up a sack today because of the Andrew Thomas versus Laremy Tunsil thing. By the way, buy the new shirt we just put out on the Talking Giants Twitter awards now. So yeah. Any guess on inactives today? We have 2 for sure with Evan Neal. Let me find a notepad.
Yeah, Evan Neal and Daniel Bellinger are obviously the 2. As far as they just didn't put Bellinger on IR yet, but
we have 7 healthy active wide receivers.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say Sills.
Sills, yeah, I agree with that. I think they'll put Sills out. Let's see. Marcus Johnson popped up last second with a thumb injury.
Whoa, really?
I'm looking at the injury report on Friday. Marcus Johnson says thumbed. He was Wednesday and Thursday had no designation. Friday he came up as a limited participant.
The Bucs tried to throw a pass to Tom Brady and Tariq Woolen intercepted it. That's his 5th interception of the year. Let's see. They lined up in Wildcat.
I turned the game off because it was kind of like It was like a punt fest in Germany, which is I think is what they deserve. If the London fans got a punt fest for the first few years, they deserve a punt fest as well. Can't get a good game right out the gates. That's not allowed. Let's see. I mean, unless they they're probably gonna act. Cordell Flott, I guess, will be active today since he was only limited.
I wouldn't be surprised if Cordell Flott plays.
Yeah.
So Neal Bellinger, Sills. Who do they have it? I don't think they'd run with just 4 linebackers, but I guess Carter Koff. They're not. Let's go.
Wait, is also Kalitro still on this team?
Yeah, that's the thing. Is would they make? Well, I'll say Quincy Roche because O'Shane Zimenez is back. Yeah. You know what? I might even just say Ellerson Smith too. Like, how many edges do you need? 6 edges.
Yeah,
but they might like him in special teams. One of the tackles, Devery Hamilton or Matt Parrott.
For some reason, I'm leading Pert since no, I'm gonna say Devery. I think they routed Pert.
By the way, happy for Parrott coming back.
Oh, love that for
Pert. I agree with Hamilton over Parrott. So that's 5. What do we need? 7. I know this is the most boring thing we do every week, but I love looking for the inactives. You know what? I'm going to say Ellerson. Screw it.
Yeah, put Ellerson. I don't really know who else they would go with because, like, the Giants are not coming out of.
Maybe Kalitro.
I think the only one option for me is Kalitro.
Yeah, let's say Kalitro.
I guess I do have a question for you. It's not like this current game, but I guess it's long term. Since Landon Collins wasn't elevated for the practice squad, do you read into that as anything, or do you think they're like, we just don't need you this week?
Well, here's the thing: is I don't know if they want to go to dime because I don't know. I don't think they planned to play. Like, I don't know what we said it before. It was like when the Giants added Landon Collins to the practice squad. We're like, what is the like? We do not understand the plan. What the plan is for a guy like Landon Collins, and you don't just put a guy like Landon Collins on the practice squad. So, like, they added Tony Jefferson to the active roster. Then Tony Jefferson went on IR, so they want to run that dime package. So they put Landon Collins activated from the practice squad. So my guess is just this week playing the Texans. They're not really like the Texans don't spread it out much. They do end up in some. So maybe this like, hey, we're not going to use that dime package this week, so we're not going to use a practice squad elevation on Landon Collins because we're not really in a place. The what will tell you the story on Landon Collins is Tony Jefferson could come back from IR next week. Like that could tell you the story. Like, do they get rid of Tony Jefferson and add Landon Collins? But to be honest, I thought Tony Jefferson looked better in that role than Landon Collins did.
Yeah. I was just wondering because I saw he wasn't activated this week. We got a bot in the chat, by the way. Besides the point. I just felt like he wasn't active. People are like, oh my God, Landon Collins coming back. But Tony Jefferson still is like Wink's guy. So I just thought it was interesting he wanted to get a designation, especially with Tony Jefferson coming back. And especially the week when the Giants lost Xavier McKinney and the secondary is kind of like a little dicey right now.
Inactives posted. Let's see how right we were.
Oh, wow. Did they hear us talk about it? That they're like, we have to.
Bellinger, Neal, Calitro, Hamilton, Sills, Roche. There's not one more. Well, so I guess we got it right. And guess what? We added Ellerson because it's like, well, we got to have one more. Ellerson's active. So for some reason,
I say we got that correct.
Oh, you know what? I'm thinking for some reason I counted wrong. So you only need 6. So we got it right.
Yeah, there we go. Oh no, Isaac Dobbs inactive.
He plays on the Texans.
Yeah, I just saw that on Dan Solomon's.
Ooh, Brevin Jordan is inactive. You dumbass.
Oh, God damn it.
Oh, I got to do the fantasy tweet. Let me see.
God damn it.
So could we maybe maybe I'll allow a trade since he is inactive. Wait, no, you took him in the 4th round. You can't trade him actually anyways.
Oh, I did it? Oh, I'm just a freaking an idiot.
Yeah, so you can't trade him anyways.
I'm never taking a backup tight end again. I just wanted to take a backup tight end to get back in the groove of things, and it just never happened.
Yeah, you should have taken Jordan Akins like Justin said. Wow, no Brevin Jordan. Isaac Yadam.
Tragic. Isaac Yadam.
Yeah, I'm actually going to put a tweet out from the Talking Giants account to really troll. Why is Brevin Jordan actually injured? Is he injured?
I knew he was questionable coming into the game, but I didn't expect he would be active. I'm trying to see that was for
I tweeted Isaac Yadam is inactive for the Texans today.
Massive blow.
So we did pretty good guessing the inactives this week.
Oh no, yeah.
Congrats to us. Bobby, your face looks 57 years old. Thank you. I look very mature. Oh my! Hit us with some questions.
Oh my Lord!
How crazy that all the healthy rookies have started McFadden this week. Yeah, Neal, Kayvon, Wandale, Flott, Azudu, Bellinger, McFadden, Belton. Yeah, and Beavers would have started. McKeithen, I don't think would have started. DJ Davidson would have never started. So, but yeah, out of all 11, 8 of these guys would have started again.
Kind of crazy. Ooh, the Thomas.
Who is Little Miss Red Riding Hood?
Ooh,
Gary asked.
That's a good question.
Gary looks really old to be doing he's got a belt shirt tucked in and he's doing selfies and he's trolling you. That's pretty rough.
I mean, I can't comment.
Which is, by the way, is a great the whole belt in that's a great look, but you can't also do mirror selfies with that look.
Yeah, especially when you're taking
one or the other. Either you're a mirror selfie guy or you're, black belt, t-shirt tucked into your jeans guy.
Well, I don't know what's been going on recently, but some people just don't like me recently. They've been going at me on Twitter. It's pretty fun.
I don't know what it could be. Definitely, I don't like you, but that's for legitimate reasons.
Yeah, I mean,
one
yeah,
of
it
my
makes
one of
perfect
my
sense.
oh
Like,
by the
yo,
way,
I don't
Danny,
know why.
I was talking with one of my friends yesterday, and I had no idea he like paid attention to anything that we do. He's like, yeah, it's like I watched Superman Radio a couple times. He's like, I really liked Danny when during the elevator saga. I was like, oh yeah, that was great.
Maybe I'll just
Uh,
break back into that dorm area and just record everything I do
yeah, it's
inside
like
the
you don't
house.
live. You'll be like a senior in a freshman dorm, like recording. You'll be like, what is going on here?
Who's this weirdo? Why is he
It's
here?
like I'm here for the elevator.
My brand. Leave me alone. Leave
I
me
tried to
alone.
find a tweet from someone rated about the elevator. In a shocking development, Danny's elevator broke. I can't find the video. There's a video of the elevator though that was
Bro,
really
that
funny.
elevator was something. Oh, thank you, Jeremy. I like great job yesterday on Cortica. Beast of a call.
Oh, does he go to Ithaca?
Yeah, he
Oh, did Ithaca win that game?
of course we did against Cortland. Yeah. What it was like 34-17, I think it's the final score. They basically embarrassed Cortland. Jeremy actually he called the game on Yes Network with Bruce Beck, so that was pretty cool.
Oh, that's cool. Congrats, Jeremy. Um, do you see DJ having a similar stat line to the Bears game? No, I think I think there's gonna be some more big plays.
Yeah.
But again, they also might. Yeah, I don't know. No, I think it'll be better. Do we see more of Gates this game? Yeah, because I think they want to run the ball and get into some heavy. And I also think they saw how bad like the two tight end formations don't work blocking wise when you don't have Daniel Bellinger and you're throwing Tanner Hudson out there. So yeah, I think we'll get a decent amount out
Give,
of
give,
there.
give me, give me all the Nick Gates. We deserve Nick Gates.
Yeah, let's put him at center. How about that?
Yeah, honestly.
Kenny Golladay over. We talked about Kenny Golladay earlier. Kenny Golladay over under 3 catches.
Oh, I'm gonna hammer the over.
Really?
Based off my hype and expectations, I gotta hammer the over.
You know what? I'm gonna say over 2. Screw it. Do you think the defense can force multiple turnovers? I don't know. Like
I want to focus on getting at least one. I can't go multiple when we struggle to get at least one.
interceptions are some of my favorite plays in football, and we've had one in 8 games. One in 8 games. Now Davis Mills throws one per a game. He has 8 interceptions in 8 games. Just the style that we play, like just that man coverage, it just doesn't breed interceptions unless you are just have lockdown dudes all over the field, or just you play a quarterback who's just totally inaccurate, which I don't know if we have, which Davis Mills isn't. So we just the style that we play does not breed interceptions. It sucks. Now we forced a lot of. I think we had like some of the most fumble recoveries in the NFL.
That's got to be, yeah.
And our offense doesn't like we have one of the better turnover margins in the NFL. Because like the offense doesn't. In fact, let me see where we are in that. Because Daniel Jones only has 2 interceptions through 8 games. Yeah, we are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. We're 10th in turnover margin in the NFL. And we only have 1 interception, but we have 9 fumble takeaways, and then giveaways we have 3 interceptions. Oh yeah, Tyrod Taylor had an interception, and then 5 fumbles, and 3 of those are Richie James. Let's see where the rest of the league is with interceptions. Yeah, we have 1. The next worst is the Saints with 2. Then a few teams with 3. They're like the Eagles have 12 interceptions. I don't know what the hell's happening with the Raiders, but that was the one. Like Patrick Graham, like he would create turnovers every single week. It was every single week we'd get interceptions.
Yeah.
Let's see. Lee Trey Lab. You pointed out a couple big throws DJ didn't take in the Seattle game. Do you think this is the main reason why the offense has been handicapped? No, I think that was just an example of. No, I think the offense has been handicapped because of their worries about the offensive line. You could say, well, the offensive line, they're not. Daniel Jones isn't getting pressured on. Well, at the beginning of the season, he was the most pressured quarterback in the NFL, so they went away from some of the straight drop back stuff. Work the play action. Play under center play action, bootlegs, RPOs. did some stuff to work around that, but then the wide receivers aren't very good. So I don't think that's the reason, but there could be there could be some like credence to the idea that like the offense is not tailored to like just be guns ablaze and go downfield, partly because Daniel Jones. Can't be all Daniel Jones because of the receiver and offensive line, but partly because of DJ. Let's see. Who is likely winning the NFC West? I think the 49ers still end up pulling it out. I mean, the Seahawks are losing right now. The 49ers are just so talented. I think the 49ers could win the Super Bowl, to be honest.
Yeah, the Rams are truly going through that Super Bowl hangover, like champs. They're feeling it.
Dude, they're off. They're one of the bottom 4 offenses in the NFL.
They're like extremely painful to watch. Like, I get why they keep getting like in big spot games because they're the Los Angeles Rams, but it's like, man, they're just brutal to watch. And I mean, they got their Super Bowl, but I don't know. It's just I don't know what's gonna happen in LA this offseason. I'm intrigued.
Well, also, I got a lot of heat because I was last year because I'm like, Stafford's not like an elite quarterback. Like, he's a good one, but he's not an elite quarterback. They're like, well, look at all these throws he made in Detroit. I'm like, yeah, also watch the full games. Like, this guy throws some like the dumbest passes ever. Yeah. And he lucked out in the playoffs because of drop. Like, it's one thing. Like, I hate when people like, whoa, dropped interceptions. It's like, well, that happens to everybody. But like, they were some dumb, all-time dumb, and they were like ducks that were dropped by defenders. So, again, I watched it. I actually watched it one. I remember just like watching that Giants-Lions game in 2019, and then when we signed Kenny Golladay, I watched full Lions games, and I'm like, Stafford certainly is a good quarterback and does some good things, but he makes some dumb ass decisions. Is Dameon Pierce better than Kenneth Walker? I kind of think he is. I think Kenneth Walker bounces too much. I think he is way too he's kind of got like that early Saquon disease.
Oh yeah,
maybe I shouldn't say disease. That's a little strong. But where it's like it's just you always wanting to be the home run threat. Now Kenneth Walker has a better ability, so I think Kenneth Walker has like if Kenneth Walker can get over that and start hitting the hole, I think he'll be better than Dameon Pierce. But Dameon Pierce is playing awesome this year. Like he's he's winning by breaking tackles. It's not some just like great run game by the Texans. Like their run game is like one of like 25th in the NFL, but he's ranked 6th in rushing. Like it's all him, and they're living off of broken tackles. He's 3rd in the NFL with broken tackles. 51.
Yeah, they can't slow down Dameon Pierce. It's gonna suck today because that man just.
I think this is a game where our run defense doesn't look bad. I think Micah McFadden and Jalen Smith will play. They don't throw a lot of misdirection, which is the Giants' biggest issue in the run defense. And we don't miss tackles. Now, again, we're playing Dameon Pierce, but the Giants don't miss tackles. You saw against Kenneth Walker, the Seahawks kind of they ran a little more misdirection, but
yeah.
So it's just you got to make those tackles. Does my internet suck right now?
I mean, like I'm still able to understand you clearly. It's just your camera was kind of freezing, but
okay.
It's just the camera, but you're not like lagging or anything. Like,
all right, we'll go for another 2 minutes. I am very excited to watch Micah McFadden play. And I think this will be a game where the linebackers were a little happier with them.
Even he was like the one linebacker in the draft that like I genuinely remembered watching and having like knowledge on. So I'm very excited to watch Micah McFadden.
Yeah, I like Micah McFadden. He was one. He's just a fun player to watch, even though it's like you see he has some flaws in his game coming out of Indiana, but it's like he's just a fun watch. Yeah, he's Thomas McFadden is starting over Crowder today. At least that's been reported. So this is how we'll finish it off. We'll talk about. I wonder if Golladay will catch his first touchdown. It's kind of crazy that, like, we signed this guy. We're all hyped for him. Like 98% of Giants fans were hyped for this signing.
Mm-hmm.
And now it's like we're a year and a half in, and it's like, I don't think he'll actually get a touch. Do you think this guy will actually score a touchdown? But if Kenny Golladay scores a touchdown in this game, it might be the single most hyped moment for Giants fans this year outside of the 2-point conversion versus the Titans.
Oh, 100%.
Or maybe the Julian, like it'll be like the 2-point conversion versus the Titans, the Julian Love interception versus the Ravens, and like that's it. then
Yeah.
Kenny Golladay touchdown.
I mean, that's it's sad we're in this point that we have to get this excited for this guy that we're paying all this money to score one touchdown. But it'll be legendary. But I'm also just still of the mindset I don't think he ever will score. That's just how it's just crazy to me. I feel like he's cursed on this team.
Yeah. All right, we appreciate you guys. Myself and Justin will recording a pod after the game. It'll be out on Monday for everyone else on YouTube and podcast apps. If you want to watch it live, patreon.com/talkinggiants, just $2 a month.
So subscribe.
No pressure though.
No pressure.
Episode was presented by Simple Man Radio. Use banners to summarize your talking points and display calls to actions. This is an example of a banner. Click on a banner to show it in the screen.
Oh.
Fourth quarter, Bucks 28. Do you remember what this is, Danny?
Fourth quarter, Bucks 20. Oh, God.
Remember when we thought we were going to live stream all Thursday night football games last year? This was week 1.
All right.
Yeah. People are like, update the score. And then we realized, like, the people who go live during games, they actually call it. We're just talking through it. So this is not going to work for us. People are saying the Tibbs strip sack. Now, I think I'd be a little more excited for a Kenny Golladay touchdown. Even like the Tibbs strip sack ended the game, but at that point in the game, it's like I felt like we were going to win.
Yeah, and I also expect Tibbs to have that throughout his career. I'm not sure Kenny Golladay will ever catch a touchdown on the Giants. So
yeah. All right, we'll see you guys. Appreciate you. Let's go 7-2, and let's go Big Blue.